7 of Core, presented by the PlayStation Network. And for this month, we have to say happy Interactivists, and what interactive fun it is, because Episode 7 has a little something for every taste. We begin with an inside look at EA's Skate 2, the sequel to the game that redefined what it means to ride a virtual board. Then Audrey Cleo hit Skate Fest 08 in San Diego to check out the boarding scene to see just how real this game is. Next, I make my way to Capcom to check out two of their latest projects, Bionic Commando, the reimagining of the classic 8-bit franchise, and Flock, a really cool PSN game that definitely does not follow the herd. Then we find out all there is to know about the steampunk subculture as we take a look at Codemaster's Damnation, a postmodern third-person shooter served with a Jules Verne twist. Of course, it wouldn't be Core if we didn't have a few downloadable and playable goodies for you that are new to the festivities. How about an exclusive Killzone 2 theme and the latest addition to the L2 arcade, Blast Core? In addition to all this great content, annual subscribers to Core will find their download centers filled with the Core exclusive Flock demo. So what are you waiting for? It's time to join the rest of us in celebrating Festivus with Core, presented by the PlayStation Network. I'll see you on the inside.
What's up, guys? I'm Audrey Cleo at Black Box in Vancouver, about to check out what they're doing for Skate 2. Now, the Skate franchise has prided itself on being an authentic skater game, and in Skate 2, you'll find new tricks, new ways to customize, and some gnarly new wipeouts. Let's get our grind on. I'm with Jay, the gameplay producer. Now, Jay, Skate was a huge success, but what did the fans want, and how are you guys going to accommodate them in Skate 2?
Skate was a start. We had to build a solid foundation. Glad people liked it because it was really just our first time out, and we thought we would love it. Glad they love it too. And we had many more things to do. Getting off the board, doing more tricks, just giving you more control over stuff you can customize, how you play the game. Skate was just the beginning.
Something that everyone's going to be really excited about are all the new tricks. So let's talk about that.
We're double the tricks this year, more than double. Simple things like hippie jump, which is just awesome. Jumping off your board can roll under stuff while you fly over top or run over top of things. Hand plants, finger flips. What's great about it is that you haven't really have to learn anything new. So you've always had two push buttons. Now when you're in the air grabbing your board, press one of those buttons and you'll kick a foot off. So there isn't new controls to learn. It's just now they all work together.
Part of the realism of this game is all the video manipulation that you can do and all the free playing and, making it really real. Tell me about that.
Well, it's such a great toy. In the world of skateboarding, people are off on their own, doing amazing things, and they share it by video. So it's really just a perfect match for us. And our mission on the original Skate was to be able to share those videos with anybody. So to actually render a video, post it to a website, copy it down, post it on YouTube, and it's just awesome to see how it's taken off. People recreating true skate videos, showing funny moments. It's on all the time. It's getting that TV recorder for your video game. So something cool happens, just pause, rewind, and then you can share it. In the original Skate, you only had a few specific camera options that we provided to you. Now you can move your camera around, pick the angle that's right for you, whether it's a tripod sitting and your skater's shooting by, or picking that right angle you want to follow from, editing it, changing the speed of it. There's just so much you can do, and then upload it and share it with other people.
Well, thank you so much, Jay, for your time. Really excited to tear it up. And when will we be able to get in on the action in New Sandman?
Well, New Sandman Alona is available full on after Christmas in January.
Awesome. So save those gift cards, guys.
You've seen the game, now it's time to grind. I'm right outside sunny San Diego at Paula Skate Park for Skate Fest 2008, and I'm gonna get in on the action with a personal lesson, and then we're gonna tear it up with these real life skaters right here. I'm with Chris, today's event coordinator. Chris, what the heck is going on today?
Well, today we've got SoCal Skate Fest number 4, put on by SoCal Skate Shop and SoCal Skate Parks. We're doing a raffle. We got a bunch of our sponsors to donate product. All the proceeds will go to Grind for Life organization, which is it's a cancer organization dedicated to helping families that have to travel to go get treatment.
Brian Mank, or Mank I should just call you, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you're gonna give me a little skateboarding lesson today. Now, Mank, I am a lady of the water. I surf, but I am deathly afraid of concrete.
Most people are when they start, but once you learn the motion and you got the 2 simple basics that I will give you, it'll make it very easy to where you feel confident and then you're safe and you can actually have more fun.
Now, as a beginner, what are your major tips for me? What should I be looking out for here?
Well, very simply, I can have anybody skating in an instant because it's 2 things. Number 1 is your base, is how you have your feet. If you have your feet right, you're gonna have the most balance and you're gonna feel comfortable on the board. And then the second thing, just like they tell you in every sport, is simply bend your knees. So I can have you riding and feeling comfortable very quickly with just 2 things.
All right, let's do this then. Let's get my gear on.
All right.
Star treatment right here. No concrete facials today, right?
Well, first thing is you got it, front foot on,
Yep.
on top of the front bolts but not past them, and that's the foot you're going to stand up on when you are going to push.
Okay.
So what you want to do is just push the board along, just walking along it just like this.
Looks easy enough.
Just walk it just to get
Okay.
comfortable.
Woo! All right, I'm skating. Why aren't there such things as training wheels on skateboards? Ah!
Because there's already 4 wheels there.
Because there's fences.
Just pick it up a little bit and go to the left and then right.
Woo!
Wow, very good.
And I'm scared now. That about wraps it up for me here at Palace Skate Park. I think I'm gonna leave the real skating to these guys, and I'm just gonna stick to the game. But I'm gonna keep the shoes, because those are pretty cute, right?
After a 20-year hiatus, Capcom is bringing back Bionic Commando. Earlier in August of this year, they released the retro-friendly Bionic Commando Rearmed, but we are here today to learn more about the next-gen version. This is Frank Feliz, who's the brand manager for Bionic Commando. And like I said, the game is 20 years old at this point, the original was. A lot of people aren't probably too familiar with the IP itself. Why bring it back into the next gen, or even come out with the version that came out earlier in the year? Why do you think it's so special?
So Bionic Commando originally came out 20 years ago, like you said, on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and it received huge success. And so it only seemed like a natural fit with the next gen power of like the PlayStation 3 that we're able to bring and house all the things that we wanted to do with Bionic Commando to the next gen system.
So you can jump, which is different from the original.
You can. So as the original 2D version, you weren't able to jump. The 3D version, you can definitely jump.
So what else is there going to be in the game? Is there going to be any kind of multiplayer aspects, or what are you planning?
Yes, so there's 8-player multiplayer, there's deathmatch, team deathmatch, and capture the flag. And multiplayer is shaping up to be a lot of fun. So you can imagine 8 players swinging around, chasing each other with a bionic arm. It can cause a lot of mayhem on the screen at once.
So obviously you can swing from building to building with your bionic arm. Is there anything else you can actually do to affect the environment or the gameplay with it?
Absolutely. So you have grenades as well, so you're able to blow up the environment, and it actually becomes debris that you can then use your bionic arm to grab and then throw at opponents. So the environment definitely becomes part of your weaponry as well.
Does the storyline pick up exactly where the original left off, or are you kind of taking a different path?
So actually the game takes place 10 years after the ending of the original Bionic Commando, and you play as Nathan Rad Spencer, who's been in prison for war crimes he didn't actually commit. So he's actually sentenced to execution, and on the day of his execution there's a massive terrorist bomb that goes off in Ascension City that then the government reinstates him to find out who is behind this massive disaster.
I heard that you had a little bit of a rock star moment in this game. Mike Patton from Faith No More is actually voicing the lead role. How did he get involved with that?
It turns out that he was actually a huge fan of Bionic Commando, and so when the producer reached out to him for interest in the game, he said he'd sign him up, and so he joined, and now he's the voice of Nathan Rad Spencer. When you're able to pull off special moves in the game, Mike Patton does have some sayings that are just really unique and really original and that are really funny.
I'll send you the bill later.
Well, I hope this will not only get people interested in the IP, but also, you know, maybe get some more people interested in retro gaming too.
Absolutely. So the original 2D version was a ton of fun, and if fans want to get out there and see what this is all about, definitely go check out Bionic Commando Rearmed, and I guarantee they're going to get hooked and they're going to want the next gen version as well.
Get hooked, get it?
Yeah, that's right. Thanks.
There's a game for every special interest group: karaoke, cooking, and yes, sheep. Yeah, you heard me right. Get it? Heard? Yeah, I thought of that one myself. Well, the new title for PSN, Flock, has all the trappings of a great game. It's got farm animals, puzzle solving, and even aliens. This game is really very different, but I just want to ask, why did you go with alien abduction and farm animals?
Yeah, I mean, it might be a personal thing with the team over in Scotland. You know, I've kind of wondered, it might be a little fetish there, I don't know. But I flew down there to work with him, and when you go there and you're driving through Scotland, you see the farms, and you see the sheep, and you see the cows. So a lot of the animals you see in Flock is exactly what you see when you're driving through Scotland.
So what are the game mechanics like? What are you trying to achieve with that?
The main thing is that you want to get the animals from just kind of the farm into what we affectionately call the mother flocker. So there's sheep, there's chickens.
Is that the official name? I gotta know.
It's we don't know if we're going to actually print it, but that's what we call it. So for the sake of this interview, you heard it here first. It's the mother flocker. So you want to push the animals into the mother flocker. We don't know what the mother flocker is going to do with them. We don't really dig into that. How you get them there is the big challenge. Are you going to mate them and make more sheep? Are you going to make bridges? Are you going to kind of just scare them around the bend? Are you going to use, you know, like we have pigs that behave like pinballs, so you kind of bounce them up and down, and lots of like really quirky, fun mechanics. We're always giving you something new and fun to do. We kind of call it a puzzle sandbox because, yeah, most of the levels you don't have to solve one way. There's multiple ways of solving it. You kind of just tinker around with the game, and we think that's kind of one of the more unique things in addition to the look.
So what are the different ways that you can kind of tell the sheep and the animals which way to go? What can you use to your advantage?
As you upgrade your UFO, you get a beam that you can depress things, you get a beam that can suction things. So we give you a big level with many, many things you could do. There might be crops sticking up where you could do crop circles and make a pattern and a path for the sheep. If you find a female sheep, you can kind of bring all the guys to the female and they'll follow her around, kind of like when you leave a bar at 2 a.m.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Who doesn't like a sheep party, really?
So can you flock with your friends?
Wouldn't want it any other way. In Flock, you can play co-op. We have something like 50 levels in the single-player campaign and around 15 or 16 in the co-op. Plus, you can make your own levels, so there's a lot of ways to play this thing.
How could you possibly want anything else out of a supporting character? Adorable and delicious. Sheepy.
Longer than any man could recall, a great war raged across the sovereignty, leading us into damnation.
Damnation centers around a group of freedom fighters battling to protect this retro-futuristic America where the top military contractor of the day has decided to build his own personal army and cut a swath of destruction across the country as he aims to set up his own industrialized dictatorship. Damnation is about opening up the player experience. It's a third-person shooter where the player has all these sorts of acrobatic abilities that allow them to navigate through worlds that are not only miles of horizontal distance, but also thousands of vertical feet in height. And all of this occurs in a setting that's this really cool steampunk American frontier, rugged, war-torn industrial world.
Steampunk really taps into that fantasy of what if electricity wasn't discovered, what if everything was powered by steam. Things and inventions would have gone in a completely different direction. They wouldn't be small circuit boards or wires. It would be these large, giant machines with gears and pistons and pipes everywhere.
So what we did with Damnation was we took traditional steampunk and made it more rugged. We made it more gritty. We made it fit with our image of the American frontier.
There's definitely an underlying believability that exists in steampunk. If you look at any steampunk designs or any steampunk drawings, it's something that would have always been creatable, and that's the same with our weapons.
The weapons range from our take on the pistol, which is a 4-cylinder steam-powered 32-shot revolver, to the railroad spike gun, which is a modified power tool. It was meant to drive railroad spikes, but now you can use it to pin enemies to the wall with these really strong clockwork-driven spikes. We have all sorts of really cool steampunk vehicles as well. Some of them are very fast-paced, you know, they're so fast that they can ride up on walls and that sort of thing, like the trike and the steam bike. So when we talk about acrobatics in Damnation, we're not just talking about simple jumping. You have all sorts of different climbing abilities. You can, climb up ropes, you can swing across poles, you can shinny along ledges. You just have all of these really, really awesome sort of Hollywood action hero moves. I think that people are going to be really excited about all of the freedom that the acrobatics gives them.
One of the things that I really like is that this is going to be a game that you haven't experienced before. With the verticality, the guns, the multiplayer that you're going to play in our game is never going to stop.
It's incredibly fun to be able to look at these huge organic environments and decide how you want to make your way through them, how you want to take out your enemies. You have that choice. It's up to you. When we set out to make Damnation, we said we wanted to evolve the shooter genre. I am really proud of what we've done. I think it's a really awesome, different, unique experience that people are really going to enjoy.
An underground aesthetic movement that also has literary and creative components to it. The idea is to look at the world as if steam power came to the fore and not electricity. We're hearkening back to the technology as something that you can actually see working.
When I see a watch, ticking, and I see gears working against each other, it's more of a physical thing. You can really get a handle on it. You can watch it work like a steam engine. You know how it works. My car, I don't know how it works.
I mean, you've got the Jules Verne sort of early literary influence. I can have my corsetry and my mad science too. The great thing about steampunk is you can take from all these different periods.
It's pulling from the science fiction and fantasy community, but it's also pulling from the makers community, and these are people who are really interested in creating art from found objects and creating art that is functional.
I think it's the kind of maker's ideal. It's the ideal of inventing things and taking things from history and making it into a sort of your own version of what kind of the pulp culture of the Victorian days would be.
You see people wearing stuff that they've created. So it is very much like, oh, I can do this. I can make my own stuff.
These wings are a Batman toy. You can buy them at Target. It's the steampunk rule. It only works 50% of the time.
This is Dr. Broadwater's Trapped Electronic Dingus Directory. It's kind of a catalogue, a Sears and Roebuck style catalogue of ray guns and inventions, and the inventions of the Doctor who makes these things. And these are cast in metal and made to, I want them to feel like the real thing, as if such a real thing could exist, but feel like a real antique firearm, as if you just got it out of your attic. I think of what I do as science fiction, even though it's from an earlier jumping off point in time.
It's so versatile. There's so many things you can do. You can take it in the direction I've taken it and add that occult feel. You can take it and be like a purist and just be brass. You can be Lincoln with a Gatling gun arm. You can be anything.
Je m'appelle Marie, come to New Orleans.
Hey everyone, we're here in New Orleans, and trust me, it is more than just booze on Bourbon Street. This place is a hotbed of music, art, and culture. So why don't we check out that voodoo that they do so well? It's been a few years since Hurricane Katrina, but New Orleans is definitely bouncing back, and you can really feel it here at an event like Voodoo Experience. I mean, this weekend, there's like 100 different bands playing, and to top it off, Sony has a giant truck filled with video games, so I think we should go check that out first. I'm here now in the PlayStation truck with Lionel Milton, who developed a very awesome level for Little Big Planet with the help of your son, Taylor, I heard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was a huge, huge help. It was 2008, so you know, the kids do it, you just kind of follow.
So what's the basis for your level? What's the inspiration?
The inspiration is New Orleans. I'm born and raised a native New Orleanian, Lower Ninth Ward, so I tried to make a level that was a concept that was based on New Orleans.
So how hard was it to develop the level? Did you have to learn a lot of the tricks, or did you kind of pick it up right away?
I went back and I made a lot of different drawings and artwork to go with the tools they had. So I just went and drew stuff and doodled around a little bit.
So you would say that the best way to kind of build a level is to sketch it out first and then go in with the tools and lay it all out?
If you want to do it in a very artistic, creative way, if you're an artist and creative, you want to do it. But if you're just super creative and you're not like more of a visual artist, you can just go in and have a ball.
So your dad said that he was trying to build a level that would be so hard that you couldn't beat it. Did he succeed?
Yeah, it took me at least 2 weeks to figure out this level.
Took you 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
So is it fun to have a dad that plays video games with you?
Oh, yeah. Never bored around the house.
I'm joined now by the totally awesome Vindictive Syndicate that just rocked it here at Voodoo. And you guys, this is incredible. You're the best rock band ever.
Well, number one, yeah.
How did you figure out you were so good? How many hours did you have to play before you were like, holy crap, we're pretty awesome at this?
I don't think we can count that high.
What's next for you guys? You gonna take it on the road?
We would love to.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're just gonna see where it goes, and whatever opportunities come along, see what
Putting
can
out
happen.
an album, maybe?
That would be awesome.
We'll work on that. I told my boss, I'm like, I don't know how far this is gonna go, but I'm gonna ride it wherever it takes me.
Voodoo Experience is a true taste of New Orleans. Coming here to see the characters, to hear the music. It's not about just the big bands, but it's about the side tents, about the local funk, jazz, the culture that persevered.